Hello, everybody, and welcome to Positive Fandom. I'm your host, RM, and today we have with us Retro Nerd Girl. Retro Nerd Girl, how are you today?
Really good.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Retro Nerd Girl and I are going to be watching the BAFTA Awards and talking about the winners in a few minutes, guys. Everybody who's joined us, thank you so much for being here for the BAFTAs. And of course, Tom Jr. Jackson is here with us. Tom, I hope you are
Hey,
well. Thank
Tom.
you again for coming through and being a moderator and everything else, Tom. Um, Gary Bando Sandwich says, get red carpet ready with a glass of champagne for the big one, BAFTA UK. Exactly. Gary Bando Sandwich. That is what we are here to do, to enjoy this BAFTA Awards. It is so exciting to do award ceremonies on the channel. And I'm just so curious as to who the winners will be this year. Outcast Creatives, Ty has mentioned, unfortunately, Richard Belzer from Law and Order passed away. Yeah, we're sorry to hear that.
Oh,
Um, uh,
wow.
and I'm assuming that this is Lance who is here in the chat. Hi, Lance. But if it's
Is it
not,
Lance?
hello to the Outcast Creative crew in the UK. It's always a pleasure to hear from you
Hi,
all.
guys.
And we also have Dahlia Meyer. Dahlia,
Hey,
how are
Talia.
you? We hope you are well. It's good to see you here. And guys, please, just so you know, you can watch it. Retro Nerd Girl and I are going to be watching it via Twitter. There's going to be a broadcast on Twitter in a few minutes. It's literally, there's a countdown. So if you go to Twitter, you go to EE BAFTA Award, Film Awards, Red Carpet. The broadcast is about to begin there. You might also be able to see the live awards going on from BritBox, which is what was advertised. I tried to log into BritBox and I didn't see anything there, but we shall see. Certainly, for those of you who are watching along, it's great to see you here. I sure hope that you can see the awards, but if not, don't worry, because Retro Nerd Girl and I are going to be talking about everything and everything BAFTAs. So don't worry, this is going to be a great show tonight. I'm so excited to see who the winners are, Retro Nerd Girl.
Oh, yeah.
This is really, I kind of feel like this is a very different year from the past 2 years we've had, where things didn't quite seem in place for the award shows. And, you know, of course, last year we had unusual award ceremony things taking
Mm.
place, but I'm hoping that regardless of how things play out this year, we're going to see some incredible wins. There certainly was so many incredible, nominations this year
Mhm.
for the different categories. And, as far as I'm concerned, even though there were limitations in the way that movies and films were made this year, we did get some incredible uh, nominations. I'm just kind of pulling up the nominations and that information.
Can't focus.
Um, so, as far as I'm concerned, one or two of the ones that I thought um, were very interesting, obviously, is going to be Best Actor, Best Actress, along with Best Film of the Year. So, it's very interesting. We did a watch party here for the Golden Globes. We're doing the BAFTAs today, but we're also going to be doing the Screen Actors Guild and the Oscars. So this is the second in the series. And in just a few minutes, we're going to be able to look at the red carpet broadcast from EE BAFTA on Twitter. So if you guys want to watch along, you just have to go here to EE BAFTA's Film Awards red carpet that Retro Nerd Girl and I are going to be watching from, and we're going to be enjoying this so much.
And that will be on Twitter.
That's correct.
You have to go to Twitter to find that. And you don't, um, I guess you would have to have a Twitter account just to do that. But yeah, that's a great way to see it for free.
Yeah, maybe you would need a Twitter account. I hadn't thought about that.
Mhm.
But yes, this is a great way to watch it for free.
Mhm.
And it's so exciting.
Oh, yeah. I've been really doing a lot of homework on this. As you probably know, I live in a place where I don't get to see a lot of these movies, but I do a lot of research on knowing what movies are out. So just to keep me fresh, um, and to keep me like in the know of what's going on. So I'm not always living in the retro.
Yes, and that's
So
okay. That's all
yeah.
right. Um,
So yeah, I'm really excited to see who is going to win because who gets to win here may get to win the Oscars. So that's really kind of the tip off here. Like who is going to sweep these wins? You know.
Absolutely. I am so excited to see who will be winning. Um, And I think it is very interesting because I always say that the award ceremonies are important. I know there's a lot of questions about the importance of award ceremonies these days. And as far as I'm concerned, I think award ceremonies are always important and needed, going forward. So there is that, no matter what, even though we've had some difficult times in the with the award ceremony
Hmm.
situation,
Yeah.
we still need to see those wins, and people need to be recognized for their work.
Oh, I agree, absolutely. I mean, it's some of this is tradition, but it's also a way for a lot of these artists to recognize, each other, and also new artists to be recognized. There is a category for up and coming artists, so this is great. I think any opportunity that the regular, average folks get to see these celebrities and these actors, it's a great chance to learn about movies. And we have to, I think I'm sort of like a historian when it comes to movies. It has like a special place in my heart. I really want to see movies continue to thrive and grow.
Absolutely. I support the industry. I want the industry to succeed. We've had a number of different situations happen over the past few years with things kind of getting in the way of the normal transition. We're not seeing as many films. We certainly aren't seeing, what many people would say are the caliber of films that we might have seen years
Mhm.
ago. But the fact of the matter is that even if one film gets made, it's a miracle considering how much is at stake for a film to actually even, be made. So
Oh
as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned, and perhaps you feel the same way, it's a miracle whenever a film can go ahead and get the thumbs up and they say, yes, we can make this film. It does feel like a miracle.
yeah.
And Gary is saying it's live now in the UK. I'm sure Gary is actually watching a lot of that. I don't know if what we're seeing, Retro Nerd Girl on Twitter is exactly synced with Gary, but we are seeing kind of a preview on Twitter of all of the attendees and presenters in the United Kingdom for these BAFTA Awards. And there is a lot of excitement there in their delivery here to be able to be present for an award ceremony like this. It does
Hmm.
mean a lot to them. And it is nice to see the excitement there, Retro Nerd Girl. Are we seeing the same thing where people are kind of talking about the expectations?
Yes, and this is actually not the live show because it was recorded. I've seen this already because it's this was I saw this earlier this morning.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
the preview show.
This is the preview show of all of the actors and filmmakers talking to the people on the red carpet and taking pictures and so on and so forth. Um,
Yeah,
okay. So you have to go to the actual. Let me just go to the actual BAFTA. Um, and the actual BAFTA page, and they seem to be uploading just
the
um
winners.
yeah, the winners, or they're uploading parts of the show. Not like actually streaming right now. Let me see. Um
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
this is very confusing.
That's
I thought
okay.
I thought we had it, but, yeah,
No, that's quite all right.
yeah.
Um, what I was gonna say is, yeah, I can't seem to get it on BritBox, which is okay. That's where I thought I was gonna be watching it, but, it is what it is. Like, I'm on BritBox, but I don't see it as an option. I've never seen BritBox actually show live shows, but, if I go in here and I put in BAFTA.
Yeah, there are reports now. Routers is reporting that the first BAFTA win today was All Quiet at the Western Front.
Yes, and
Um,
that's not a surprise for us, is it,
mm-mm.
Retro Nerd Girl? I did review that, movie, um, on my channel with Darth Plato, and I'm just gonna pull up, information about it here. I'm gonna go to, um, BAFTA winners. 2023 hashtag, and then I'll be able to share the screen here. Hopefully, I can see that winner, which I don't see. There right now. I'm just seeing what's the. Is there a particular?
Yeah, that was actually Routers, or
Okay,
you can Deadline Hollywood is actually
so let's. I'll
reporting things as well.
Yeah, so I'll do deadline and see if I can find it that way. Yeah, and so what is this? No, that's something different. Um, I don't know what that is. Is this it? Um, it's going to block me, I'm sure of it. Yep, account. You must create an account. Yep, we don't want to go there. And I think that that's what you were talking about, Retro Nerd Girl. That there's a lot of links that
Yeah,
are.
I'm gonna give you a link right now from Deadline that has the winners list. So here, I'll put it in the back chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to see something.
Yeah, that's true. It's incredibly helpful, and I'm grateful, that that's there. So, for the winners, let's see. Um, okay, so this is everyone airing an hour delay in the UK and US. So check. Oh, it's a delay. I was unaware, and I apologize. So let's go ahead and look and see. I wonder, Retro Nerd Girl, if Deadline would have also some information about the winners. So I'm going to go ahead
Yeah,
and
they do. If you on that link, you have to scroll all the way down, and then it will show you the winners. The first one would be special visual effects.
Mhm.
And Avatar, The Way of Water has won. Um, Let me see if I could just do.
So I'm trying to pull up the BAFTA winners on Twitter for under Deadline,
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
but I don't know whether I can do that. So but that's okay. Because I just
Yeah.
wanted to show something alongside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they'll have the pictures and everything. But let's see. Let me just go to Deadline. And once I go there, maybe they'll have something under the BAFTAs. Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah. It's in that link that I
First
just gave you in the
Um,
chat. Did you see that link?
I did see that link. And it's an article. Um, so I wanted to pull up something that was on Twitter.
Oh, sure.
So this is what I have. In other words, and I'll show you. So here, this is the article. This is the link that you gave me.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay. So I'm going to share the one from Twitter because it'll have like kind of a picture with it, and I'll show you what I mean. But this is not exactly ideal either. So here,
Yes, that's much better.
yeah, so we can see that one of the winners of special visual effects, and this is not a surprise, is it, Retro Nerd Girl?
No, no,
That
that was actually on my list um for the for this category.
Certainly. And this is um just I'm just so happy that they got this retro nerd girl because of the effort that they put in for their visual effects. I can't think
Mhm.
of another film that I would have nominated. Maybe some of the superhero films might have fallen into this category. Doctor Strange might have been nominated, but clearly Avatar, I think, blew everyone away with the special effects. And retro nerd girl, I remember them talking about how these effects were going to be different because it was in water, and how it was more difficult to perfect special effects underwater,
Yeah.
and showing these perspectives. And you've seen this film, right, Returner
No,
Girl?
I live in a place where I can't see anything, but I've seen a lot of clips, and I've also had a full rundown of the story. Um, and I've read like every article about this movie. So I know this is very beloved, and it did do a fantastic job. A lot of people have been raving about how beautiful the special effects are, and it was well worth the wait. And of course, the box office reflects that quite a bit. So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It really does reflect that in the box office. We saw the most incredible special effects in Avatar. And I think that going forward, knowing that they did win, I think that that was kind of expected
mhm.
almost, um,
Yeah.
in what they accomplished between trying to show, of course, this was motion capture as
Hmm.
well as special effects on top of it. So many layers for this one. Just congratulations to Cameron
Yes.
for doing that, and not a surprise. And so another winner, Retro Nerd Girl,
Hmm.
and this also was not a surprise for me, is the animated film goes to Pinocchio
Yep.
by Guillermo del Toro. Now, Retro Nerd Girl, have you seen this film?
No, I haven't been able to see any of them.
Okay.
But
I wasn't quite sure, because I think this one is available online and you can
mhm,
look at it. But certainly, it's so wonderful to see that this film won. And recently, I managed to see kind of there's after you watch the film, there's also an additional film available that says something like the making of Pinocchio. And
oh, okay.
Guillermo del Toro and his team talk about how they made the film. And, so I was the only person apparently on Earth who did not know that these were puppets. Okay. So I was absolutely the only person. Even my mother was like, "You didn't know?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know it was puppets. I just thought that this was, an astounding achievement when it came to, a lot of this." And, so it was essentially stop motion animation, if you will,
Mhm, yeah.
if that makes sense, stop motion
Yes.
picture or
No, you're
whatever.
right, yeah. Stop motion, animation.
And so, what was so interesting about it is that they not only had to make puppets of, sort of all the same size, but then they had to, depending upon the scene, make them in very, very large or very, very small. And that also was incredibly fascinating to me because there's a Pinocchio that's like the size of a child, of a real child. And I just was so fascinated. There's one scene, Retro Nerd Girl, where they're kind of dancing. And, it's supposed to be a phenomenon, the strings get cut, but Pinocchio can still dance. And I just was so fascinated by what Del Toro could do, and I was not expecting to care about the story in this. I thought maybe this was just for a child's amusement, but this one felt more like it's not Grimm's fairy tale, but it felt more like on the order of that, where there's some kind of a lesson and undercurrent to it. And it really threw me at the end, Retro Nerd Girl. I really would like to get your opinion on it when you see it,
Okay.
because I was not expecting to feel the way I felt about this film. Um, so I think that Del Toro certainly outdid himself in this regard, but also the film, at its core, is something that really kind of shook me a bit. And I wasn't expecting that. So here you can kind of see a little bit more of the stills of the characters here with Pinocchio. And Pinocchio, it's not a spoiler. I mean, everybody knows the story of Pinocchio, but he ends up sort of like on a traveling show where he's working for peanuts, and he has to do like 10 shows a day or something. But what makes it so enjoyable is just this beautiful work, which is all hand done, to make these puppets just come alive. And it is pretty remarkable, Retro Nerd Girl. So
Mhm.
I was not surprised with that win. So let's keep going.
Yeah, that was on my list for what was gonna be picked because of everyone has just been, raving about how superior actually that film is to most of the other animated films, that appeared this year, and also Toro is a genius. So yeah, it was a shoo-in. We all, pretty much knew what was gonna happen there.
It certainly, and so that was no surprise. Now, this one certainly surprised me for a number of reasons, but it has been getting a lot of chatter. And I did see this film in the theater, and I was going to also say that, like many other films, this one has a very specific aesthetic. It's the Banshees of Inisherin, and of Inisherin. It's not showing up everything, huh? Oh, it's because I collapsed the screen. Just one second. Is it back? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Um, if I
I was
minimize,
like that comment, I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "What?"
and I apologize for that,
Oh,
guys. So
no.
we're talking about the Banshees of Inisherin. Certainly a film that has gotten so much chatter. Not a surprise there. Although I personally am very conflicted about this win, because I think it's really a very specific taste aesthetic, Retro Nerd Girl, where the film itself um, is it is dark. It's got a dark theme to it, but certainly it's been lauded for talking about the emotions of men and how that's important in dealing with certain situations. Had you heard about this film before, Retro Nerd Girl?
Yes, yes, I watched pretty much all the reviews on it, and, it is a very intimate story from what I've been, hearing about the story, and I feel like it's on my list as the pick because for this category because it's definitely the flavor of the British awards here. It's like it definitely is something they would pick. I mean, not that they are biased in their picking, but there is sort of like a preference for a certain type of film, and this is the kind of film that would really appeal to this award panel.
Exactly, Retro Nerd Girl. And I think that is very interesting to mention that. I think that there certainly is a, a, a specific aesthetic that the awards would cater to, and rightfully so. Something with more of a British theme, and I think this one certainly is that way. Something that I don't hear a lot of people mention about this particular film is that apparently during the film there are some scenes, and I did see it, where the two main characters shown here are talking, and they can hear kind of fighting off in the distance. And the fighting is very interesting because during the fighting, we can see them react to the noise. And apparently, from what I understand, the film is also supposed to be a statement about them not being involved in this engagement, this fighting that's going
Right,
on.
yes, there's kind of a war going on at the same time, and at some point in the film, one of the characters that "Is the war is still going on?" So, yeah, that's pretty interesting, backdrop in in the story.
It is very interesting backdrop, and I think that going ahead and making a statement as it does, these two gentlemen are living somewhat of a very peaceful life away from everything that's going on, and it's in stark contrast to this war that's going on across the street, more or less, or across the water, maybe if maybe 10 miles away. And this deals with that. I think it was very bold for them to even go into this area, because I think I would want to, I'm not necessarily judging the decision to focus on it or not, but I think it's very interesting because the notion that there you would be concerned. You would be concerned if you knew all this stuff was going on right, a few miles
Yes.
down the road. But you're on this island, this is not a judgment call. You're on an island and everybody else is fighting over there. And so it was kind of interesting that that became something that was significant, and sometimes maybe even an not completely obvious focus of the film. So there is that. Now, the next film here is outstanding debut by a British writer, director, or producer, and it goes to After Sun for Charlotte Wells, who's the writer or director. I have not heard of this film before. Have you?
Yes, this is my first time hearing about this film, and also, um, I guess it's one of the categories that's not really that publicized. I was like, definitely went through the main ones, but this one was not on my list. So this is great because now because we're enjoying this particular content, we're gonna probably try to see if we can find this film and see it. It's gonna give not just the film more exposure, but give us the opportunity to be exposed to a different type of film. So
Certainly, and of course, as the name implies, that this particular film is for a new, let's say, debut, an outstanding debut by a British writer director. So this is their first time out, and to get this type of prestige and acknowledgement is a huge
exactly.
accomplishment
Yeah.
for anyone going forward. So there is that. Um, Now, the next category that we're looking at here on Twitter. Let's see. Um, what is this? Uh, it has something to do with BAFTA confirms the deadline that Condon's name was on the card, but the sign language interpreter providing voiceover for the audience mistakenly announced Carrie Mulligan. What does that mean? Did something happen during these awards? Technical snafu. I have to share this. Um,
Okay.
Wow, this is very interesting, and just give
Yeah.
me 1 second as I, move as fast as my fingers can, to share the proper screen so we know what's
Wow.
going on here. I have to say, allow. Block. Technical snafu as supporting actress, BAFTA announced as Carrie Mulligan instead of Carrie Condon. Of course, this is a picture of Carrie Condon
Oh,
here, the actress here, showing a picture of her from 2023. And it says an unfortunate loss in translation snafu happened at the BAFTA Awards after Best Supporting Actress presenter Troy Kostar announced Carrie Condon as the winner for her performance in The Banshees of Inisherin. BAFTA confirms that to Deadline that Condon's name was on the card, but the sign language interpreter providing the voiceover for the audience appeared to mistakenly announce Carrie Mulligan, who was nominated for She Said as the winner. Now, of course, She Said was a film about the Me Too movement, right? Retro Nerd Girl.
that one that's one of the ones that I guess I did not hear much about.
Okay.
It wasn't a favorite. So
Yes.
from the information pools that I was gathering from, they were not talking about She Said very much.
No, no, that certainly wasn't anything that I heard very much about this year. And of course, this actress, her name is
Carrie
Carrie
Mulligan.
Condon. She is in the Banshees of Inisherin.
Mhm.
And so somehow they mixed up the two names. Gee, that is quite a snafu.
Yeah.
I know if it were me, I wouldn't be too happy thinking that I had won um, an award, only to find out that it's not me. Poor Carrie Mulligan. I hope she wasn't too freaked out by all this situation. But gee, that is quite a snafu. but it was unintentional.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Carrie Mulligan can understand. I believe she is an award winner at some point. So let's just hope she's going to be okay with this. Now, for best cinematography, this is not a surprise. Goes to All Quiet on the Western Front. You had already announced this earlier, Retro Nerd Girl, and I reviewed this movie with Darth Plato right here on Positive Fandom when the film came out. And I have to tell you, Retro Nerd Girl, there's no spoilers to this film. It's from the famous book, All Quiet on the Western Front, and it's a German production, I believe. Um, and I thought it was a wonderful production of the film. I'm sure you've seen a version or two of All Quiet on the Western Front over the years, Retro Nerd Girl. But this particular version, they talked about how specific things that they had to do in order to recreate the broad scale and look of the battlefield. But the thing that stood out to me most in the film was the fact that I knew that they did this. I knew all along that they used flamethrowers in World War I. I knew this. I saw the pictures, Retro Nerd Girl, but I was so off put and freaked out by seeing them use them in this story and hearing the soldiers suffering as they
Oh
were
my
being,
God.
yeah, it was the most horrific thing I've seen in a while and seemed incredibly inhumane and horrible. It really bothered me. I knew they used them, but to see it in a movie version, I'm sure they've shown it in plenty of movies already, but this one really got me. And some of the effects in this particular movie were, this is completely meant for adults. It's not for the faint of heart. And they did a fantastic job with this one. What have you heard about this version of Retro Nerd Girl?
Yeah, I heard that it was gritty, realistic, and just a heart-wrenching story, like most war movies are. But just nothing but praise for the work and the detail and that was involved. And it was sort of this is definitely from what I have been hearing, definitely the favorite for cinematography. And it was kind of, there was some people who were gravitating towards Top Gun because it was such a huge hit and people loved it so much. There was so many incredible shots in that movie that could not have been done without some incredible trickery. But I think because of the subject matter, because it's so, it's talking about the struggles and the insane details that are of war and being in a war. This is going to win. It just had to.
I'm sorry. Can you still hear me, Retro Nerd Girl?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I
I
got.
live near the airport, so there's a lot of air traffic, and I'm a lot of times I have poor
Oh.
connection. It's insane. But yeah, this I really thought that this was a wonderful version of the film. There have been criticisms about what was featured and what was not featured in the film, and whether or not this one kind of makes an impression or not. But as far as I'm concerned, Retro Nerd Girl, any film that features any kind of historical battle, anything historical like this, I don't think they can make enough of these films. I think they need to continue to do stuff like this. It's so important. And I think that there's, even if it does not have a groundbreaking story or doesn't do something new and innovative, I don't really mind that, because history is so important and we need to see those interpretations continuing on.
Mm,
So
I agree.
certainly not a surprise that they would win here. So
Yeah, and
let's
I
see.
think sometimes war is glorified, and these movies do not glorify them at all. They really show you the gritty details of what it takes to be a soldier and what they have to see and what they have to go through. It's brutal, it's horrible, and that like you, I would love for there to be more movies like that so we can really get an idea of why we should not be going to war all the time.
Absolutely. Certainly, it's something to think about, and hopefully, it will have that kind of an impact, Retro Nerd Girl, going forward. Certainly, something that I hadn't thought about, the importance of revisiting history and the influence that it can have on our generation, but also on generations to come. And this is no
Exactly.
surprise. Retro Nerd Girl winning for Best Editing is everywhere,
Yes.
all at once. This film's editing must have been one of the most difficult editing jobs I've ever seen because of the timing of it all. If you watch the trailer on this, Retro Nerd Girl, even the trailer looks difficult to
Oh,
edit.
yeah.
Those strange kind of movements and motions in and out of dimensions. It's just the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I think that when described to an editor from a director what they want to achieve, this might be one of those things where they say, okay, but it's going to take me a little while longer to do this one.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, this was pretty much a shoo-in for this one, but, definitely, again, Top Gun had, some really good editing, from a lot of people from the industry. They're, like, really praising what was done in Top Gun, and also, um, the other Elvis had quite a few interesting editing moments, but as a whole, this is a complete and total fantasy movie that is really playing upon those multiverses. And so the editing was so incredible, and in coordination with all of the action, all the theatrics that you see, it was definitely, are we surprised? No.
And thank you,
Right.
Tom Jr. Jackson, for the kind words. We so appreciate it, and we'll
Oh,
take
thank
it.
you.
Thank you. We love this. Thank you for saying that. That is so kind of you.
Oh,
Yeah, you made a good point about the moving into multiverses. This might be one of the best films about the multiverse we've ever seen. So that, that I think it's very funny. It's not necessarily connected to what we know, but I do think it is very interesting regarding that. So here it looks like we do have a win. It says
oh, yeah.
casting.
Yes,
I don't.
great.
Is this what category is this casting?
Yeah, it is, it's just for, whoever cast the movie, gets a gold star.
Oh my gosh! So the casting agents get an award?
Yes, yes,
Oh
from
my
BAFTA. Yeah,
God! This is
which
great.
I thought that this was a great, category, and, let's see, on my list, for what I said, Elvis was definitely part of that, but, everything, all at once, it was cast in a specific way too that was very unique and very bold, um, you can't imagine any of that cast being replaced. So this is probably a close call here, but because of Austin Butler's performance, that is probably the key reason why casting was given this award. And a lot of people may have had problems with uh, uh, what is his last name?
Tom Cruise,
Yeah, no, oh, no, no. The
Tom Hanks.
Yes, thank you. I know one of the Toms. Tom Tom Hanks's performance in this film, a lot of people had problems with it. So that's would have been the only reason why casting might have had an issue. But Austin Butler, there has to be something to be said for this. And if he doesn't get Best Actor, at least this is the category that that film should really win on, and casting him.
I agree 100%, Retro Nerd Girl. This was a slam dunk with Austin Butler. Obviously, his breakout role. This has really made him an international star,
Yeah.
being able to play Elvis and having Baz Luhrmann be the director of the film. So you knew it was going to have quite a musical focus to it. Even like you said, despite Hanks is over, to me, honestly, I think that what was interesting about Hank's performance is that he was a little bit overwhelming in the sense of I feel, and I don't think it really matters that much, but I feel that he could have been a bit more understated in that character. But this is a Baz Luhrmann production, and you and I both know that usually stuff from him is kind of outrageous, out there, in your face. There are no, kind of quiet characters. Everybody has a performance to give, and I think Tom Hanks, for what he was asked to do, did the best that he could. So there is that. Yes, Butler's performance was remarkable. Well done, casting agents. I think their names are here. I can't read it. It's
Nikki Barrett and Denise Chairman.
Yeah, you two,
Chaman.
you ladies, you did fantastic in casting. Um, Other people need to take some advice from you two. And now, talking about this other category of film not in the English language, All Quiet for the Western Front wins in this. And so the film is in German, if I remember correctly. I believe it's a German production, Retro Nerd Girl. I also
Mhm.
think the film is originally in German, and I don't remember whether it was a dub, there was a dub on it, or whether you have to watch the subtitles. But the film is a foreign language film, and it seems to have won for this. And I'm glad that they won. So they have that award, which is wonderful. Um,
Mhm.
Also, another winner. Wow! So this is two actors who have won for the Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay.
Gary Keoghan, can you believe it? Two. Wow, they are really for Best Supporting Actor.
They're really loving that film.
They really are. They really are. I think as and hello, Happy Sanjo. I hope you're well. Nice to see you here. The Outcast Creative, yeah, says two for Banshees.
Yeah.
Of course, that very odd, as we said, it was not Carrie Mulligan who won that first, but Coden who had won because the translator, I guess, maybe translated it wrong. And but that's all right. It's okay. Two for Banshees, certainly wonderful. Now, we happen to know who won Outstanding Debut, don't we? I believe it was, I can't remember the name of the film, but you and I did see this Retro Nerd Girl, if I remember correctly. I don't know whether that's the next choice, but certainly. Oh, and another one.
Supporting just really quickly on supporting actor, it's kind of like wild that Kei Hee Hung did not get that. Kei Hee Kwan did not get that, and so that was expected. Like, okay, everything all at once going to rack up everything. And so this is, I'm sure for a lot of fans out there, like, what, he didn't win? So now there might be some skeptical eyes out there that maybe he might not get the Oscar like it had been um, predicted.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and certainly I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing. Retro Nerd Girl, certainly different from what they were expecting. Everybody's really did expect Everything Everywhere All at Once to do well because it did so well at the Globes, but also because it's such a remarkable and just out there film. And we do see that for adapted screenplay, All Quiet and the Western Front also wins. Certainly, they must be very proud to have won that award as well. It's Edward Berger, Leslie Patterson, and Ian Stotkill for that win for Best Adapted Screenplay. And these are just some of I think Richard Grant is the host. I always
Yes,
liked him.
he's fabulous.
Yeah, he's wonderful. I remember him in LA Story and a bunch of other movies that I've seen him in. I always thought he was wonderful. And here's Austin Butler and Eddie Redmayne in their
Awesome. Wow, they look great.
they do. You just look at Austin Butler, always
Wow.
he looks good in anything.
Yes.
Um, so there he is, looking great there.
Oh, man.
He almost looks like one of those faces, one of the BAFTA
Oh,
faces.
yeah.
And here's Eddie Redmayne. It looks like a
Wow.
jumpsuit. That looks like a jumpsuit on him.
Yeah,
Um,
very fashion forward. Love it. He wears it well.
He really does. Good to see him here at the award ceremony, dressed to the nines. Here's some other pictures of other actresses, Florence Pugh and Anna de Armas, and of course, I can't remember what Florence Pugh was in, but Anna de Armas, of course, was nominated for Blonde, right?
Yes.
Retro Nerd Girl.
Yes.
Everybody talked about that film. That was a huge conversation over the past year about her performance there. And Florence Pugh, that looks lovely. I don't know what
Uh,
she's wearing,
sh
but that is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's always dressed to the nines and then some.
Yes, definitely. And there, of course, is Anna de Armas, looking lovely as well.
Yeah,
And I'm sure very excited to be at the awards tonight. Here's some other ones. This is Jodie Turner Smith and Sheila at Team. Now, oh, wow, that is
it's
stunning.
really like a mermaid look.
Wow, that is so spectacular.
Yeah,
What a lovely dress on her.
yeah. I
Um,
love the
and
choker.
Yes, it's
Oh,
stunning. Look at that.
yeah,
It's got
yeah,
some beautiful, design. It looks like blue stones or something like
yeah,
that with the, sheer material and the sequins and the feathers. It's incredibly festive and just so beautiful on her.
yeah.
Certainly complements her
Gorgeous.
very well. Yes, and I love this color, this gorgeous bright silver.
Mhm.
It's actually maybe a bit of a matted silver, but rather than shiny silver, but just so
Yeah,
stunning
yeah.
on her. Definitely a beautiful, this looks like a custom made dress to me. Um,
It's fitting her like a glove.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can see her there. It's with the matching, speaking of it, with the matching gloves.
Yes.
It's really stunning. Just one of the best looks I think this year.
Yeah, it's
Retro Nerd Girl.
definitely an update on the classic, Hollywood, look. Um, Definitely beautiful, just love it, and I love the crushed fabric look on the bottom. It you've got everything so smooth in the top, and then it's like, man, goes into this crushed look. Beautifully done. These girls are stunning, and they have fantastic stylists. Oh, just wonderful. That's another reason why I love the awards. My mom and I, when I was coming up, uh, we'd always watch these award ceremonies and watch all of the beautiful, glamorous clothes that everyone was wearing. So, yeah.
And I'm just gonna refresh the page, maybe they
Oh,
have
yeah.
more winners up there.
Okay.
Um, so let's see, I don't know if they have more. Oh, yes, they do. Okay. For, British short animation, the winner is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Peter, Bainton,
Okay.
Charlie Mackesy, Cara Speller, and Hannah Mihaela. Certainly congratulations to them. I love animation that shows those extra lines. It adds like these different dimensions to it, rather than
Yeah.
erasing everything and making it just one perfect line.
Yes, yes. It really looks like art come to life.
It really does. Certainly, congratulations to the winners for The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Another winner for Best a British Short Film is An Irish Goodbyes of Tom Berkeley and Ross White. So we can see, I guess, part of the short film there. So congratulations to them as well. Who else do we have here? Oh,
Oh,
what?
costume design, yes!
Oh my
Elvis one.
gosh.
I was
Oh,
really rooting for this one because they really did pull everything out for this one, but, I wasn't sure 'cause, there is a movie called, Mrs. Harris that was a close, um, contender,
yes,
and
Mrs.
so
Harris Goes to Paris, I think is what.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
yeah,
Nerd Girl. Oh,
and
hold on one second, I will be right back, just continue talking.
okay. Yeah, I mean, who is surprised about this? This is, it's Elvis, after all, and he has so many fabulous costumes. This movie in particular was all of just getting the period down, just to get like the realism to match. actual photos, actual footage of all of the characters really takes a lot of work, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much work it goes, that actually goes into making sure that these characters look like their real counterparts. And then they get everyone in the audience correctly, and nobody's walking around with like iPhones or anything like that. It's really hard. So definitely this movie gets huge points for doing that. Um, Excuse me for a moment. I have allergies that are just kicking in. But yes, Elvis is fantastic. Uh,
Thank you. I'm sorry. My mother I had to help her go into the bathroom.
oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying how much work it takes to match real life footage and photos to these moments in the movie. That is really takes a lot of hard work and effort to make sure everyone looks like they're actually those characters.
Absolutely. I think that Butler had a certain level of tenderness in the way that he portrayed Elvis, and I think that's maybe the closest way that anybody might have portrayed the man who had so much criticism against him for the way that he performed, which was, I guess, at the time, quite shocking, but also later on in life for different things. So I'm just so happy that that film one for costume design. It spanned what, how many years? 30, 40 years.
Yes.
So they had to go ahead and be able to match all of that from the 1950s to, the
Very
1970s, more or
difficult.
less.
Very
Yes,
difficult to do. And as I
exactly.
was joking before you came back on, I said, "You can't ma you gotta make sure no one has any iPhones out or, or anything to give away the error not being what it is." And just, how remarkable they matched, the women in Elvis's life to the characters on screen. It was really everyone had to be dressed in a period piece, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
and
that's hard.
you are so right, Retro Nerd Girl, especially in the scenes like the Las Vegas scenes where everybody's at these casinos and the styles change. And he was there while, a lot of these different style changes were going on. And, there were a lot of women in the film that were extras. And so you had to see them up close and it had to kind of work very well, in the story. So it certainly was something that I think, and I wonder if Ms. Martin is going to win going further.
I
Um,
think so. I
yeah,
mean, it would be a shame if she didn't, because of the fact that Elvis itself is a visually outstanding film. It, it, she should get the Oscar, but again, there is that contender out there, and we'll see. We'll see. The Oscars, you never know. But this is great. I'm so happy that Elvis got that. At least, for all of its hard work, they've got casting and then they've got costuming. Yes.
and we see another win for All Quiet in the Western Front for
Yes.
Best Sound. Lars Ginzel, Frank Cruz, Victor Parasil, and Marcus Stemler for the sound. And there were very specific things that they had to do for this war film, or as some people will call it, an anti-war film that had to sound authentic. So certainly, congratulations to that group for that and original score too.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh,
surprising. Oh my God. What do I have? Oh, actually, I do have on my list sound for All Quiet, and I also have, let me see, for um Score, let's see. Original score. Oh, okay. Well, Babylon was supposed to be like the favorite for everybody. They were just at least like let's throw Babylon a bone here, you know? And so a lot of people thought Babylon would be the one to win original score, but this is definitely surprising.
Yeah, it is. With Volker Bertelmann winning for Best Original Score for All Quiet in the Western Front, certainly was a surprise to me as well. But it was a fantastic score, no doubt. Just surprised that they won that. Congratulations to them. And for let's see, best documentary
Mhm.
is Navalny, and I think I
Yes.
remember what this is about. I keep seeing it being. I think it's on. Is it Netflix or uh, what is it called? A Prime Video that it's on. Do you remember?
No, I don't. But I did have that on my list for documentaries as far as being the favorite from a lot of experts. They were just saying how good this is. So this is definitely one of those movies that's on my list to definitely like check out. Let's see if I could.
Well, it says that it is an eye-opening documentary that chronicles the investigation into the shockingly brazen assassination attempt of a Russian opposition leader whose name is Navalny. And it obviously is this investigation into this person being killed. And I think the person did make the news a number of times when they were unfortunately assassinated. So it's one for best documentary, certainly well deserved. I have not watched it. It's on HBO Max.
HBO Max. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where it was. I haven't watched it, but honestly, it sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
As far as
It sounds like it sounds pretty intense.
yes. And so let's see for special visual effects. I think we
We
saw this
did see that
already.
one, yeah.
Was Avatar, and we did see the original screenplay,
Mhm.
the debuts. I just wanted to see if there were more. There's probably, if I refresh it, there will be more at the
Yeah, we're still missing director and leading actor, leading actress, the top tier, I guess you would say.
exactly. So that should be coming up, and I guess we're just waiting. I
I'm
guess
still surprised that Ki Hee Kwan did not get uh, supporting actor. It just is like, wow. It just sort of like rocked me off kilter there. I was like, huh, didn't expect that.
yeah, it is unfortunate that they did not win that, but it is something to think about here. What we're seeing with the winners here so far, and I'm sure there'll be more pictures that I can find. I'm sorry for the scrolling, everybody. I haven't gotten anything new just now, but
Yeah,
that's okay. Maybe there's a few more wins farther down. I haven't been looking at the chat because I've been focusing on this for a little bit. Um, Certainly a lot of interesting wins tonight, as we're already 1 hour into the show. We have another hour of that. We're going to be talking about the winners of the BAFTA Awards. Certainly very interesting to see what's going on here, and I'm just waiting for them to update it. Because we know Deadline will update it in a few seconds with the next
yeah,
winner coming up. So let's see who else has won. I wonder if I'm supposed to. I wonder if it would stay if it stays on Deadline. No, if I click on here, it'll go to the other link, right? Or would it stay on Deadline? Yeah, it's not. Okay. Um, these are just their announcements congratulating some of the winners there. And we have actually seen all of these winners so far. We can
yeah.
see a little
I
bit of the
think I
presentation.
think there because when I went to the website, it's still refreshing. So they're pouring in, but not it's not there yet.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they have like
Exactly.
I
And this
think
is Babylon, which you were talking
yeah.
about. Oh,
It did win. Let me just,
for best production design.
yeah, best production design. That's like
That's
3 minutes ago they reported. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Congratulations to the production team of Babylon for winning for best production design. God bless you, these production designers, for coming up with the concept. And they'll say it's supposed to look like this, and this, and then they have to recreate that. It's an incredibly difficult job to go ahead and create those concepts and put it together so it looks authentic. And congratulations to them for winning the award for best production design. I don't know why there isn't a name there, but that's okay.
Well, I thought for sure that they were either gonna do, All Quiet or Elvis, even though Babylon, definitely where it's a, period piece and there's a lot of, like, theatrical stuff going on there. I thought for sure, especially with, All Quiet being a war film and having to do all the setups and everything, I thought for sure they were gonna get it. So that is definitely a surprise. But good for Babylon because Babylon has been getting brutalized in by some of the critics, so it's great to see that it's getting some recognition.
It certainly is. And it looks like another one, and I don't know whether we covered this one for outstanding British film. Did we cover that?
Nope, we didn't. And let's see,
It
on my list, yep, this sounds right, Banshees, because again, as I said, it's the type of film that this organization enjoys to, to really give awards to.
certainly. And Lance is very excited that Banshees has won that. He says
Yay.
it's easily easily the best script. That's 3 wins for Banshees. And now I thought the visual effects was the one that went to maybe I'm wrong. Did it go to Avatar, or am
Ye-
I incorrect?
As far as that's what I thought we did visual effects and that went to Avatar. That was the first thing we covered. But
Yeah. So
But
maybe
maybe it was a different type of visual effects.
agreed. Perhaps it was definitely something else there. So there is that. Yeah, you can see here's just some shots of
Yeah, that's
Babylon.
incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible, and so much work to put that together. So proud and happy for them um, there. And so they were talking about Ariana DeBose opening up with a performance at the I won't say Golden Globes, at the BAFTAs here, and you
Yeah.
can see some of the people in the crowd. I can't show the whole video for obvious reasons.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and get back to. Let me see if I can go back to the previous page. Maybe they updated deadline there.
Thank you for doing all of this. This is great.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure. I was like, "Yes!" I was so excited for this.
Yeah, it is
I will
wonderful. It is exciting to see these winners and to talk about, where it's going to go and the careers that are affected too. I really enjoyed. I think it's wonderful to see stuff like this. It's so important to acknowledge these people who put in so much time to make it enjoyable for us when we're watching these award ceremonies. It's so much work, and I'm just so impressed by what people are doing with
Me
these
too.
movies, and often maybe not always, but the budgets that are not ideal for everyone, but you got to make it work within a certain budget. There is nobody who has a limitless budget, so you always have to somehow make it work a special way. So there is that. And of course, I can't believe that we're already well over an hour into this. One more hour to go, guys. So far, a lot of winners. I'm not so surprised in. Yes, Avatar wins. Thank you so much, Outcast Creative, for following along. I'm not so surprised in the nominees who won. What I am surprised is how, or wondering how they make the decision for it. You'd mentioned some things, for example, Top Gun, which a lot of people would argue, and this is maybe not the most important thing, but for the longest time for the Grammy Awards, for these, the Grammy Music Awards, there would be people who would say that if an album is the best album in the world, the highest selling album of the world, it deserves an award. To which I had said, go ahead and make an award that says you are the highest selling
Exactly,
album of the world. Go ahead and do
exactly.
that. Then that's solved, right?
Yeah.
And so there was that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the most impressive song ever made. That's completely irrelevant. If you're saying that it has to be acknowledged because so many people went and saw it, that's great. Go ahead and do that. Or sometimes the People's Choice Awards would take care of something like that. But there's nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned, with adding more categories, giving the industry more chances to win. Why not go ahead and increase it, especially when we're seeing so many incredible films being submitted? And once again, wow, wow,
Wow.
oh my gosh, wow. All Quiet in the Western Front has won.
That
Um,
is
wa-
incredible. I mean, because on my list, definitely I had the Daniels for everything all at once, because it was definitely expected to win everything. It This is big that All Quiet just came from the back and just swooped everything.
Absolutely. I am
Wow.
just really impressed with what has been done here. With it says Edward Berger for Best Director for All Quiet in the Western Front. As I said, Retro Nerd Girl, when I saw this film, and I did review it here on the channel with Darth Plato, because I like to review historical films, especially war films,
Yeah, I
or in
love
this
your
case, an
series, yeah.
anti-war film. I was so impressed with what was done, and I'm still freaked out by those flamethrowers. So I'm sorry, I just can't help it. Yeah, Tom is asking if this is what we expected. It's not too far from what I expected. And the only controversy that we were discussing, Tom, is the notion of a film that being, maybe one of the highest grossing films, in the world, and whether that film deserves to be acknowledged and how would you acknowledge it. Certainly Top Gun was an excellent film with its technical expertise. The editing was impressive. The performances of the actors was equally impressive, having to be responsible to perform certain things that a lot of actors don't have to do. In fact, Retro Nerd, you remember, some people tapped out. They were like, I can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the actors actually had jet fuel in his blood. And they were also asked to put cameras in the jets with them to take the footage, the actual footage of them in the jets. Incredible. That's an incredible ask for an actor, and an incredible dedication. And so yes, there is probably going to be a lot of people who say, Top Gun should be more recognized, and maybe it should, but that's what these award ceremonies are up to the people who run them, not for anybody else. And if whoever they pick to choose to win an award, I think I'm at peace with it. If I wanted to have an award ceremony, I will put together my own list of my favorites, and then we all have the option of doing that. We can put together our own top 10 favorite movies of the year. We can celebrate these movies. We don't need any award ceremony to do that, but it's sort of kind of nice to see the industry people kind of talking together, working together, and sort of doing this kind of display for us, really. It's just entertainment. That's all it is.
It certainly is. And Thalia, I agree. I wasn't expecting it. It was a
Me
good film, but
too.
I'm like, wow. And you're right, Joseph. 1.5 billion is pretty, it really is, Joseph. It's something that'll go down in the history books, Joseph. Um, uh, yeah, he did. I believe he did interview Sandy Powell on Designing Hollywood podcast.
Oh,
Tom,
wow.
yes, he did. And for those of you, I don't know if you know this, but Sandy Powell is my favorite costume designer.
She's fabulous.
Not that you need to know that. Um,
Of course, we need to know that.
yeah, she's always been my favorite costume designer. Lance, just so you know. I actually had a picture of her, was pulling up a picture of her just to so you guys could see who she is here. And
What a
she's
cool lady.
recently, she first of all, she's incredibly well known in the industry. So everybody knows who she is. But she's been working with Turner Classic Movies recently on the history of costume, and I've kind of been enjoying hearing her talk outside of, you know, let's her actual work, and doing other things and talking about what's important in costume design today, you know, sort of, if you will. So Turner Classic Movies has been featuring her, and a
Amazing.
lot of really incredible information where she talks about costume design, and she's absolutely spectacular. She's the most stylish woman on earth. You know, this woman knows how to dress. And certainly, I just, you know, I want to be her when I grow up. Let's put it that way. She's remarkable. And you are right, Lance. This woman, she has been doing it for over 30 years. And Tom, can you get the link? I know you're busy, Tom. Can you please get the link of the interview with Sandy Powell with Robert that he did? I think he has it on the Burnett Work channel. I don't know for sure. But if not, maybe you'll find it on Campia. But let's go ahead and put it in here if you have time, Tom, if you have time, because she's amazing. I'm looking, yeah, this is the link I was looking for. Lance was talking about how the BAFTA Fellowship goes to her for over 30 years of costume design. She's had a huge influence. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tom. She's had a huge influence on costume design. She herself is incredibly creative and just amazing to talk to and listen to. A lot, you learn a lot from her. Oh, she's the first to win that award. Well, thank you for
Oh,
letting us
wow.
know. Outcast Creative. She has earned it
Yeah.
as being one of the most influential costume designers in our, let's say, in our era. Let's say after 1950, let's put it that way. So I have to say, I'm very happy for her. She
Good
deserves
for
every
her.
bit of it. You know, she has so much style. I just love her so much. So I'm proud that she's gotten this. She certainly earned it, you know, in every way possible. Lance, and everybody who is watching, just such a wonderful thing to see when someone wins like that. So let's see who else. I'm going to refresh the page. Am I on the right page? Yeah, I'm on the right page. Let's see who else has won the awards. Oh, here we go.
Yes!
Yes, for makeup and hair goes to Elvis. Boz Lerman, your efforts truly paid off. The team, the makeup and hair team, Jason Baird, Mark Collier, Louise Colson, and Shane Thomas for makeup and hair in the BAFTAs for Elvis. And it was remarkable. He looks like a greaser, right? He looks like a
Yeah.
greaser, you know, from the 1950s. That's what they look like.
Yep.
And I always love that name for them. I always thought that was very funny because it's supposed to look like they have oil or grease in their hair. But I just think it's so funny that you know,
Wonderful.
it is wonderful. Look at him; he looks like a young greaser. Like you wouldn't think it was from 1950. He just looks like a normal kid in America, and you know, it's almost it is specific to 1950 and 60. But what I mean is, they did it so perfect. It's like you pulled him right out of that time,
Mm,
and he just looks so comfortable, and
absolutely.
the look looks natural. He is a greaser. You know, Sha Na is another group I always think of
Oh,
about
yes, I
greasers,
remember
right?
them.
Because so
Yeah,
many of them were
sha-na-na.
greasers, and it's just fun to see that look here done so well in the film.
Yeah.
Um,
Every character on screen was, from what I was able to see, looked like they were right out of the era that they're supposed to be. I've seen so many documentaries on Elvis, as we probably all have, and they matched it exactly. Exactly. I was like, wow, that's hard. You just try doing it once, just for yourself, maybe. It's not easy to find all of the way to get the hair just right, to get the makeup just right. The makeup is important. to get right because you can't do makeup the way you do it today as you did in the 50s or you did it in the 70s. Different things, different animals. They had different products back then. That's the other thing. They had different products that work differently on you. You can't, so you have to kind of study. You have to study what those. So it is hard work. It is hard work. So I am so glad that they were able to win this category, and definitely they were the favorite. They were the favorite.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better, Retro Nerd Girl. And Tom does have the link for the interview that Robert did with Sandy Powell here. I'm assuming it's probably on Robert's channel there as well as John's. So yes, yeah. Oh my goodness. You know something? I hadn't thought about that Outcast Creative. I hadn't even thought about this of those of the people who made so many of these outstanding films and things that we enjoy. The list of those who are gone, but we will remember them. Certainly, the memorial section this year would have been something I would have actually liked to have seen live. But we're going on here, and I did just want to mention that Deadline is talking about how All Quiet in the Western Front is leading the pack with 6 wins, including nabbing Best Director. Searchlight's Banshees of Inisherin is close behind in second, and one outstanding British film. So that is very interesting to see the status there, Retro Nerd
Oh
Girl.
yeah, definitely.
All Quiet in the Western Front really
Is just
is
yeah,
taking everything by storm here. So there is that. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Tom. So it was on John's channel. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Tom. I wasn't sure because you know how sometimes Robert takes something from John's channel and he'll upload it into the Burnett work, to soon to be Imagination Connoisseurs, right? Tom, thank you, Tom, again for
Thank you,
everything.
Tom. You're awesome.
He is, isn't he? Gosh.
Yeah.
Um, the Outcast says losing Ray Liotta and Paul Sorvino. Oh yes, was
Yeah.
gutting. Paul was so lovely and really supportive of my writing. Oh yeah, it is really sad to see that. He really was a great actor. So I am so sorry to his family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him. And Lance is saying that I wrote the role especially for him, as I knew I could get the script to him. Yes,
Oh, wow.
sometimes you get lucky, and if you can get in contact with an actor and they're interested in having something just really curated towards them, it really is an honor to do something like that for an actor, so they can hone in on their craft and be able to do that. And Tom says no problem. So there is that. But yeah, it is very interesting seeing what we are seeing. And we have about a half an hour left before we stop the show, because the show is 2 hours today.
Mhm.
But I think the Globes are 2 hours, the airtime. I could be wrong on that, Retro Nurgle, but I have to stop at 4. So
Okay.
which is in about 40 minutes or so. This has
Okay.
been such an incredible show, has it not been?
Yes, I'm some of the surprises, is just incredible. Things I thought for sure was going to get it. I'm still like trying to figure out the supporting actor. What happened? Smack. Like, I'm really surprised, but I'm this is really making me doubt the list I have for like leading actress and for best film. Who are gonna get
Well,
that now? Is it like a toss up now? I don't really know.
who is down for leading actress, and who's down for leading best leading actress? Retro Nurgle.
What I've got here is that it's a tie between Michelle Yeoh and Kate Blanchett, and Kate Blanchett has been kind of saying, "No, no, no, don't give me any more awards. You let somebody else get some awards for once." She's just awesome, though. I mean, she's amazing. So, as far as like everyone has said, her performance is incredible in Tar, and
Mhm.
she's just warming up because this is just the standard for Kate. She's always great. And then for Michelle Yeoh. This is her opportunity, right, finally to be recognized. And so, um, I think maybe one of the reasons why Kate Key didn't get supporting was they're like, hey, you're probably gonna get another award eventually. You're good, and so I think the sentiment is give Michelle the award now. She's never received anything for all of her many years,
Yes.
and so this might. This is sort of like either you give it to the very best person, really, or you give it as like, hey, you were fantastic in this, and also you deserve this for your many years of service in the film community. So it's sort of a toss up. If those two, if somebody else gets it, I will be totally freaked out.
Aw. Well, you know something, as far as I'm concerned, Retro Nerd Girl, I think we were talking about this, Joseph, and hi, Joseph, how are you?
Hi,
We hope you
Joseph.
are well. Yes, we were kind of talking about this and how Top Gun was not recognized in a sense. And of course, someone did mention that it did make a lot of money, and that's recognition enough.
Yes,
Certainly, that is true. But the technical parts of Top Gun, I felt deserved something because of what they asked these actors to do. So
exactly.
we were talking about that film in particular, Joseph. How about you, Retro Nerd Girl? Was there any other film that comes to mind, maybe you have on your list? Tar obviously is one of the. It was nominated. We don't know if she's won yet, but certainly, is that? Do you think it's going to win this year? I know you have Kate down as the contender.
Yeah, for best film, right now, from what I was able to gather from all of the comments, definitely Banshees. Uh, and since it is, kind of fits the category of the BAFTAs, is sort of the favorite to win. But if they were just going on, you know, what and this is really weird because there are most, I would say, like 75% of critics are like, yes, everything all at once was outstanding. But then there's a 25% that's like, no, this is not a good movie. And I'm like, what? So, but it's sort of a toss up. And I'm feeling like Banshees is going to get best uh best film just because it is definitely the caliber of film that this organization really gravitates more towards, and it's gotten a lot of recognition already in the previous categories. So we're it seems like it's probably a shoe in for Banshees.
Certainly, I think that this adaptation of All Quiet on the Western Front certainly has taken a lot of the wins by storm, maybe even to a point that's surprising a lot of people tonight. But certainly, it was, yeah, exactly, Lance. Lance feels that he says, I reckon it's going to be between All Quiet and the Banshees for best director. Absolutely. That seems to make sense. And you guys were
Yeah.
commenting on how beautiful Angela Bassett looks. She certainly does, always looks so lovely. I wish they had a picture of her
Yeah,
here.
and she's up for best actress, but I think her being nominated is really part of the recognition here.
Yes.
If she gets it, it will definitely surprise me. But and I think it would be kind of a glorious moment as well. But if you really, I think they're gonna go with Kate but if they don't, because of their activity so far, they're not gravitating to the obvious, right? That, people are the obvious favorites on everything. But they're going for a certain type of film, that they're looking for. Um, and it is appealing to them. So This is exciting. Who's gonna
Yes, it is exciting. And
win?
I am so curious as to who's going to win as well. Um,
Yeah, after with all of the wins that that has been going to All Quiet, it's just sort of like uh that has been the secret the one that's sort of like the underdog in a way, right? Because I didn't think that they were going to sweep all these awards. But so many, yes. I mean, like, good for them, you know?
yeah, I do like when historical films like Elvis or like All Quiet win. Um, uh, John Ware Jr. says Angela Bassett has to be using vampire rituals to maintain those looks.
Oh,
And of
wow.
course, followed by Outcast Creative, who says, "You can bite my neck anytime."
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is the best. And certainly there's been a lot of expectation. She just won the Golden Globe Award, right?
Yes.
Retro Girl for her performance in Wakanda Forever. So
This
a lot
yeah.
of people are expecting her to win again for the Oscars.
Yeah.
So I wonder how this is going to play out. There's a lot of expectation for many reasons. And this has certainly been an exciting award season with what we've been seeing here so far. I have to say it's been a lot of fun to kind of follow this, and there is so much to talk about because a lot of these films are really outstanding films. There really isn't anything in these lists that I'm kind of surprised that they couldn't be nominated or felt like it didn't belong in the category. So there is that, and we're just waiting to hear more of the winners, hopefully soon, because there's not much left to the show. It better happen in the next 20 minutes. It better happen in the next 20 minutes because I need to know who the winners are going forward. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is, Tom. I'm sure he is. um, and so, oh look, the Outcast Creative says Joan Armatrading is singing. She's amazing. She did the song for the film The Wild Geese, which
Oh.
I said you need to watch. RM. I hear you, Lance. So there is that. Hopefully, we're going to find out soon. I guess who Best Actor and Best Actress are. Retro Nerd Girl. It all comes down to these final moments of these nominees who are eagerly anticipating the announcement here.
Mhm.
So it's so exciting. It is so exciting to just think about who these winners will be. So,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
So how many other categories we know that there's best film,
Hmm.
there is leading actor.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Leading actor, who do you peg for the leading actor?
Yeah, this is very hard to now. I think it should be Butler. I don't know if he's nominated though.
Yeah, he is. He is nominated.
Yeah, I think it should be Butler. Who do you?
And well, it's really it's like a three-way kind of tie between from what I've been hearing with Austin Butler, Brendan Fraser, and Colin Farrell. And Colin might get it.
Yeah, Joseph might be right here. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph says Colin and Kate are the favorites here. Maybe,
Yeah.
Joseph. Look, Lance says it's got to be Colin. I don't care for the film tar. Everyone in it was so okay, okay. But yeah, there's been a lot of chatter about Colin, and of course
Colin.
chatter about their film Bruges, which I had watched many years ago between Colin and the other star in the film, whose name I can't remember, where they played kind of hitmen in Bruges, and it was kind of a Pulp Fiction-y kind of film, but I liked it better than Pulp Fiction. So there.
I've never seen that one, so I've gotta watch that.
Good. It's good. And I remember watching it's like they should have gotten something for that film because the chemistry between the two of them was undeniable. With Farrell kind of being the less experienced hitman, and the other gentleman being the more experienced hitman, and these conversations between the two of them. It's called In Bruges, Bruges.
Okay.
It was so good, and I'm sure
Was
Lance.
it, Brendan Gleeson?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I had it called up from looking at, some information before. Yeah, he's pretty good.
And we've seen him in Harry Potter a few times,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And of course, Lance, I know you've seen In Bruges. Oh, yes, Elvis. I think it deserved it, the Outcast Creative. I think that that was spectacular what they did. And of course, this is what we were talking about a little while ago about how incredible it was. And, Tom, I'm sure Robert is talking about Sandy right now. I'm pretty sure he's covering he says he's covering the BAFTAs, but I think he's probably going to mention that he interviewed Sandy Powell last year for the Designing Hollywood podcast. So there is that. So that's definitely a feather in Robert's cap, having met and interviewed Sandy. Oh man, that must have been amazing. But yes, we're just waiting with bated breath to who has won the two main awards, Best Actor and Best Actress.
Yeah.
And it better be soon because we only have about 20 minutes left of the show, or 25 minutes or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it is very exciting. This is one of the more exciting years. I think last year was okay, but this year it feels like the award ceremonies are back, and they're not going to be the
Think
same. I
so.
don't think it's going to be the same as it was before. We can't go back, Retro Nerd Girl, right?
Yeah, and I think everybody should really take in consideration that award ceremonies are a celebration, but it's not the only celebration to be had. We ourselves, each individual, can praise to the gods how much we love a movie. We don't need to wait for the Oscars to praise an actor. We don't have to wait for the BAFTAs to recognize our favorite film. Get on YouTube or Twitter or wherever it is that you feel comfortable and talk about your favorite movies. Celebrate your favorite actors. Do the research, make it entertaining for people, and put your ideas out there. I think it's very ridiculous to complain about the way a certain organization wants to run the way they do something. That's theirs. I mean, you can take part in it or not, but I think it's very important for us. Like, if you want to see change, be the change, right? If you want to know, like, hey, I don't see enough a representation for costume design. These they're not praising these films enough for what they do. I mean, for costumes. Well, do like what Rob's doing. Make that video, make that content where you're celebrating these important contributors to film, and give them the kind of recognition you think that they deserve. That's the best way to serve them, and not be complaining pants, and like, oh, I hate this ceremony and they're not doing enough. And no, take action yourself, and create your own, like, award ceremony. That's kind of fun, right? Create your own award ceremony, and give the best actor and cinematography yourself. You can do that. Nobody is stopping you at this point. The world is your oyster.
No, absolutely, Retro Nerd Girl. And that's kind of what we used to do when the ratings for these award shows were really high, when people would show up and watch these award shows with bated breath. I mean, everybody had their picks as to who should win.
Yes.
And Joseph Wyatt mentions here, I hope they continue to nominate all the smaller art films and mix in a few of the bigger blockbusters going forward. Um, it was a great mix this year. It certainly
Yes.
was, Joseph.
Yes.
Glad to see that there was I think it was a Searchlight film. I that was in there. It seems like Searchlight has been doing pretty well with their films going forward. I have a feeling they'll be re-releasing All Quiet before the Oscars come out, right? Retro Nurgle, we'll see it in the
Yes.
theaters somewhere. I think it was on Netflix, but we just might see it somewhere else. Who knows? So Netflix themselves also got got one big here. I think it's on Netflix. I think, right? It's on Netflix, right?
I'm not sure, but this
Yeah,
is
I
an
think it's on.
opportunity.
I got to pop open the phone here because I can't remember where everything is anymore. I'm pretty sure All Quiet is on Netflix. So you had a streaming, company have an award, win so many awards. Yes, it is on Netflix. Then you had Searchlight, which I think was the Banshees of Inisherin, and maybe Outcast can comment about that production. You mentioned Outcast, that it is an Irish production, but it's funded by the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there was those guys from, I believe, also Searchlight. And we also had, what's the other one? Oh, dear, this is what happens when you get old and you
Is
start
it
to.
Banshees? No, not Banshees, but All Quiet. Which one?
That one's Netflix. He was saying about the mix, and a few bigger blockbusters. It is kind of a mix of different areas of the films being nominated and getting recognition. I don't know. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a Netflix. Who would have guessed that a
Yeah.
Netflix film, Joseph, would have won so many awards?
Yeah, and poor Netflix, has been getting a lot of like they've been beaten by the brow, okay, brow beating by a lot of, elite filmmakers who are like, no, Netflix is just it's not it shouldn't be getting awards, but if they're producing great films, right?
Yeah,
Why not give them the awards?
you make such a good point. The idea of who gets to decide whether or not someone should be, acknowledged, or even be, whether they can even qualify, whether a particular film should be able to qualify, just depending upon where it may or may not be released. So
Yeah.
there is that. And let's see. Hey, Beyond Comics. Hi, Beyond
Hi,
Comics
Rihan.
underscore 2099. Right? Oh, is it you, Hassoni? Is it you, Hassoni Parker? Hi, Hassoni. How are you? So good to see you here, Hassoni. Yeah, this is a good question. I wondered what the EE means before the BAFTAs. I don't know. Do we know? Do we
It
know?
just sort of appeared all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like
He's
maybe it's
active
the part of their doing business as part. Um,
or ever excellent.
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really say that. So I don't know why it's EE. This one just says BAFTA.
Yeah.
So let's see.
But no,
EE,
but EE seems to be like specifically to this award ceremony.
right, right.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea. Does our friend Lance know? Lance, do you know why it says EE? Do we know? God bless him. For answering our questions, right, Richard?
Yes. Thank you, Lance.
Yes, and thank you, Hassoni. It's great to see you, as always.
Oh, are we back in business? Are they presenting again?
I don't know. I'm just looking at some of the responses from earlier. So I don't think it's back on. Although one person was saying that Colin won, but I don't see anything yet. So let's see what happens. In regards to, I kind of moved off of the link I was at. I need to get back to Deadline because they seem to be pretty good at putting out breaking news. So there is that. But I don't see anything else. Have you heard anything, Lance? I can't see what the chat says. Let's see. EE is their sponsor. Thank you, Joseph Wyatt.
Oh, see that may
Okay.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's kind of like it could be, MetLife's does the Golden Globes or something like that. So yes, thank you so
Probably
much.
some bank or something.
Yeah. Oh, the Outcast Creative says Sheila Adam is on. The My Money is on Sheila Adam. Interesting. Maybe
Oh,
Naomi
really?
Aki, she was also good. Yeah. And Beyond Comics was saying Colin, he feels his comic. Colin, how about it? He says, I'm good. Can't wait who takes the BAFTA and Oscar wins. Good to see you guys. Yeah, it's good to see you as well. Certainly having fun here um, on this review of the winners of the BAFTAs. And it is so exciting. Just waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting
Yes.
for who's going to win. Yes, there is that. And I think also sometimes we see these wins and we don't know what's going to happen. I think that this is going to be a big deal for Netflix. You mentioned, and of course we were kind of briefly talking about the qualifications, and this is going to be a huge thing for Netflix. Netflix has been doing pretty good in the nomination category areas. I don't know how Netflix came about getting All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't know how they acquired it. I'm not quite
I
sure what the deal
Oh,
with,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So oh,
They
okay. Well,
they
I'm
make
sorry, Outcast. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they make some very, very interesting deals with foreign companies, foreign production companies, and I actually know a person right now who's making a film um, o- um, through Netflix, and they're based in the Philippines, and it's really quite fascinating that they get these little productions, and it turns out to be kind of huge here. And they just they plop it on Netflix, and it just seems to find an audience, and like them just acquiring RRR was sort of like brilliant, because that gave a lot of people here in America to see that movie. I mean, incredible. They make a lot of international deals, and I think that's their secret sauce. If you get that movie and you're able to have a theatrical run for a short period of time, that gives them the eligibility to be to get these awards. So they're finding the secret ways of working in the industry and getting that like legitimacy they deserve. So good for Netflix. Good for Netflix.
Absolutely. And Lance from the Outcast Creative says it would be good if Netflix commissioned my World War II series as a result of the success of All Quiet on the Western Front. We sure hope
Possible.
they do, Lance. We sure hope they do. Certainly, there's going to be a greater focus on historical stories like this, especially war films. Or as this one, I guess, was an anti-war film. Yes. Oh, thank you, Joseph, for the reminder, and very quick on it that they won for Pinocchio today as well.
Yes.
Joseph, a very good point. And Joseph, did you get a chance to watch the making of Pinocchio, which is also on Netflix, I believe, which was equally impressive as the original film itself? Which I was very surprised by. It recommends you, after you finish watching it, it recommends something. So I watched the making of, and that's when I found out, of course, that they were puppets and everyone else knew except me. But that's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Things are going to be okay. But it was very funny when I saw. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're puppets. It's just I almost want to buy one of those cute puppets.
Oh yeah, and it the movement was so effortless. It almost looks 3D, like 3D art, but much much better because of the texture, because it's a real thing in a real space. It looks
Yes.
so good. So yeah, very you know just I'm just so happy for Netflix.
Yeah, I am too. And according to Lance, Lance is saying that there is a winner for Best Actor, and that it is Austin Butler, who I called. I called it.
Wow,
Is it true? I
that is surprising. Wow.
Is it true? I haven't seen it announced. Darn it. Let me just go to the BAFTA site. I just got to go to the BAFTA because it would be there because they would be announcing their own awards.
Yeah, maybe
Straight
deadline is like, "Well, let's take a break."
up. So let's see. Yeah, it's like, of course, let's see.
Leading actor. Yeah, that was that was a hard choice, to be very honest with you. So I really thought it was a three-way tie on that.
And yes, Lance is correct. I just went to the BAFTA website, and it is confirmed by BAFTA themselves that Austin Butler has won for Best Leading Actor, and I predicted that he would win, as you all know. Um, yeah,
It's
Joseph.
fantastic for him.
It wasn't just me. It wasn't just. Do you see what he has down there, Richard or girl? It wasn't
Yeah.
just me. Because they had like puppets that were huge, and then they had some that were like this small. And I said, "What?" So it wasn't just me, Joseph. It was just so unbelievable. Okay, so yes, has to be said, he was superb. Absolutely. Yes. And yes, it's on the BAFTA site. Thank you, Thalia, for mentioning that. I hadn't thought to really go look there. Austin Butler has won for Best Leading Actor. He's got the BAFTA for
Good
that.
for him.
You know
Uh,
something,
this
Red
means
Nerd
he
Girl? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, well, this means he may get that Oscar.
Yeah, he might get it. I'm not surprised he won for this because of what was demanded of him in this performance. And although Baz Luhrmann was not nominated necessarily, Baz Luhrmann had a lot to do with this performance from Austin Butler, who was incredibly talented. I'm not surprised Austin won because I said he was going to win because of what they were asking him to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
And for the same reason, I think Michelle Yeoh should win for Best Actress.
I think so too. I really hope that she does
Okay, so
get
I'm
it.
gonna call it. I'm gonna say Michelle Yeoh for Best Actress, guys, because of what they expected her to do in that
Mhm.
role.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
Austin may have permanently damaged his voice, playing that role. He may have possibly damaged his voice forever. He's trying to get his own voice back, and that has been a struggle for him. I mean, we're talking about sacrifice, you know? So,
yeah, and Joseph Wyatt goes on to say he's easily the favorite now, obviously for the Oscar, right? Only way he loses any steam is SAG goes a different way, right? Because we do have the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which we will be covering here on the channel.
mhm. And also the SAG, I believe, comes after the Oscars this year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I hope that I'm correct about that. Please double check me in the comments, guys. But
I will look myself. I have it on
yeah,
the website. Um,
because that used to be the deciding factor. Like if you got SAG, you were probably gonna get the Oscar.
Yeah,
So
it was, that and the Golden Globes, right?
yeah.
Um, Austin Butler is also up in the up and coming Masters of the Air World War II series. I didn't know that, The Outcast,
Wow.
Lance, that is great. Best Actress, Michelle Yeoh's gonna get it, guys. Michelle
Oh
Yeoh.
boy.
She's gonna get it. And let's go to BAFTA. Let's go to their main page. Let's see. Um, I moved it, didn't I? Now you're gonna be like, why did you do that? Even I am questioning myself. Oh, oh,
What?
it's
Oh my
Kate
God.
Blanchett. It's Kate Blanchett who won for Best Supporting Actress for Tar. You called it. You
Well,
called that. You called it. You remember you were saying you thought she might win that, didn't you? Am I wrong? You said it.
yeah, yeah, because she has been campaigning not to to get anything. She's like, no, please give it to somebody who else. But she was clearly, if a lot of people just said, you know, uh, based on their ability to, judge who was doing the best out of all the actresses, they all gave it to Kate. But they were also like, maybe Michelle was going to get it because of the, many years of being in the industry. Sometimes they give them like sympathy awards. Not so much with the BAFTAs, but definitely with the Oscars. They've done that many times. So Kate, she's in her turf, right? This is they, I don't want to say they're playing favorites or anything, but this is, the British a British award, and they're going to give it to somebody who's kind of a Kim adjacent. She's Australian, right? Not really, but she's definitely in the fold of in the family. And she's excellent. I mean, when is she not excellent? When is she not excellent? This is another, her next performance is going to be amazing because that's Kate Blanchett.
Absolutely. I do want to mention that well done, Retro Nerd Girl, for
Thank
calling
you.
the best actress. I call the best actor for Elvis. We are cooking with steam, Retro Nerd Girl. And of course, guys, I do also want to mention that next week on Sunday, you guessed it, guys, I will be covering the SAG Awards. Retro
Oh,
Nerd Girl, if you're available, let me know.
okay.
You are? Okay, great.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I am.
so we are going to be covering the SAG Awards on February 26th, and I will be covering the Oscars on March 12th as well.
Awesome.
Thank you for pulling that up, Joseph White. But you can find it
Thank
on my
you,
community
Joseph.
page as well on there. Yes, wow. So what an incredible show this has been, Retro Nerd Girl. I do want to thank you for joining me.
Thanks so much.
Oh, it was fun. It was so good.
Oh, yeah. Lots
This
of
was
surprises. Lots and lots of surprises.
All Quiet in the Western Front. I think I'm gonna take, I did it, as I said, a review video with Darth Plato here on Positive Fandom, and I'm gonna upload it to her network, soon to be the Imagination Connoisseurs channel, so that people can see the review of the film that I did with Darth Plato. I think it was done maybe, I don't remember when we did it, last year sometime. So who would have guessed that it would have done so well? I didn't review the Banshees of Inisherin for a number of reasons, but I'm happy for the winners. This is so wonderful. Is there one more award, Retro Nerd
Did
Girl?
we see best film yet?
I don't know.
I
Let me
I don't think we did.
see.
I wonder if they have it yet. That would be
Yeah,
really
this is a
cool
good
if we could close
one.
out with that.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been such a phenomenal
Ooh,
a day for the winners, and just wonderful to see um, everything that's coming out. So there is that. Um,
yes, I had so much fun today. Thank you for having me on the
oh,
show. It was so great, and I love award ceremonies.
yes.
Like I said, it's a wonderful pastime of my childhood, and I really haven't been doing that for the last couple of years, and it's so good to kind of enjoy this time with you.
Oh, thank you. It was great to enjoy this time with you as well, Retro Nerd Girl. We did have outstanding British film, which was Banshees of Inisherin,
Okay,
and we are still waiting for the best film there. So we're just waiting for that going forward. It seems like All Quiet on the Western Front really performed incredible. Big win for Austin Butler. Big win for Kate Blanchett. Big wins for Carrie Condon and Barry Keoghan for Banshees of Inisherin. Certainly, casting in Elvis also won,
wow, yes,
and costume design, makeup, and hair.
great
Certainly,
job.
they did incredible there. And so we're just waiting for that last award.
Oh yeah,
I'm
and production design,
Yes,
Babylon, which was a surprise.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
Retro Nerd Girl. Excuse me. It's just waiting for this last announcement. It's killing me. Thank you. Yes, you're right, Thalia. Um, it's the best film. They haven't announced it yet, and I'm just waiting for that to pop up. But just as a reminder, guys, next Sunday, I will be covering the SAG Awards. Retro Nerd Girl will be here again with me to cover that. I'll find out if Lorraine is available. Maybe she can join us. And then, of course,
Woo!
the Oscars on March 12th. I will be covering that as well. So we're just waiting. Yes. Yeah. Isn't it great, Tom? They're great.
Great.
So I am so excited to see that. And I am on the BAFTA website now, which is actually very helpful. The way that they present the website, and I'll see if I can share it now. I could have just stayed on there and found out everything, because they would have just put it on immediately.
Yeah.
So let me just share it here, and you can see it says best film. There's nothing there yet. And
Any
this
second now.
mhm, I just keep refreshing it. I'm like, "Did you do it? Did you sing it?" They haven't done it, but, we can actually see the other, winners here, with the Outstanding British Film, Best Film, and of course, the outstanding debut by a British director, After Sun, best foreign
Yeah.
language film or film not in an English language. They wouldn't say foreign because it doesn't. They don't like saying that anymore. The documentary, which was about the assassination that happened, and of course the animated film, director, adapted screenplay, score, and sound, all to All Quiet in the Western Front. Um,
And Kate can't escape her awards.
they have her all the way down here. She should be up there,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
She didn't wanna win. She's
No,
like, "Well."
but she was getting the award anyway, whether she liked it or not.
Exactly.
And so, okay, and we see, yeah, it's clearly All Quiet and Banshees that have won a lot of awards, but also Elvis. So there is that.
Oh, yeah, and I think we missed the one all the way in the bottom, Emma.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, this is for Best New Actress,
yeah,
more
up
or
and
less.
coming, yeah,
Rising star Emma Mackey. Congratulations to you, Emma. And
yeah,
also British short film and Irish Goodbye. I think we did talk about that.
yeah, we did, yeah.
So it's really the ideal number of awards to talk about in this time frame. To, oh my goodness, who's going to win this?
I know.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Anything can win, but, we we know. I mean, I'm just thinking Banshees is gonna get it, but all you know, is all, quiet in this category? I'm not sure,
I don't know. Maybe I could click on it and
but
it'll tell me.
I thought Banshees was probably gonna get it.
Does it say who's nominated? Okay.
Yeah,
These are
there we
the
go.
nominees. All Quiet. It sounds like the announcement. All Quiet on the Western Front. May. The Banshees of Inisherin, Graham Broadbent, Pete Caesarson, and Mark McDonough. Elvis, Gail Berman, Boz Lerman, directed Catherine Martin, Patrick McCormick, Schuyler West.
Woohoo!
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Daniel Kwan, Daniel Schneider, and Jonathan Wang. I should have let you read 2 or 3. This is like I'm hogging all. Go ahead and do the Tar one.
Well, I can hardly see. Tar,
I'm sorry.
Todd,
Field, Scott
Field,
Lambert,
Scott Lambert,
and
and
Alexandra Mitchell.
Alexandria Mission.
And the winner is.
Wow.
Oh!
Oh, wow! All quiet.
Oh!
That
Oh!
was perfect timing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yes, Outcast, you called it. We
Yeah.
all called it today, Outcast, for All Quiet on the Western Front for winning Best Film at the BAFTAs this year. Wow, they have done remarkable. I'm going to have to take my All Quiet review and just plug it like crazy now.
Yes, yes.
This is so amazing. I can't. Um, and Retro Nerd Girl, please do, when you get a chance to see the film, let us know what you think of this
Okay.
film. Um, congratulations to all the winners. Yes, Thalia. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tom
Yes,
Jr.
thank you.
Jackson. Aw.
Oh, God.
Now that I know that the BAFTAs do it this way, we need to do this the next time, right, Retro Nerd Girl?
Yes,
We need to do
right?
it like that next time. I just
Yeah, and you know what's really cool is this layout here is really awesome. I didn't, they didn't have that before when I went to the site, so that is really cool. I guess after everything is all said and done, they have it nicely, put together like this. But, yes, this is awesome, amazing.
And Joseph Wyatt says, wow, BAFTA is wilding out with All Quiet. And thank you for the stream. You were great. Thank you, Joseph Wyatt, for coming by.
Yeah.
And Tom Drew Jackson says, thank you for the stream. Cheers, guys. Bye, Lance. Everybody out there, thank you for joining Retro Nerd Girl and I here for this fantastic BAFTA Awards presentation. Retro Nerd Girl, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on my channel on YouTube, Retro Nerd Girl. You can find me on Twitter as well, under the same name, Retro Nerd Girl.
Absolutely, guys. Please do find and check out Retro Nerd Girls channel here, which I'm putting up here. It's in the description here. It's also somewhere in the chat somewhere, and I will post it again. Please like and subscribe to Retro Nerd Girls channel. She does reviews, she does live watch throughs, and so much more, guys. So please do check her out.
Thank
Um,
you.
Also, guys, please like and subscribe to Positive Fandom if you enjoyed today's broadcast here. Please do that. You can also find me streaming my Sunday brunch show on 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Positive Fandom. Sometimes I also do live watch parties as well. I'm doing one tonight. I believe I'm doing it tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it tonight. I may not be able to do it tonight, but if I can't, I will say something for the Last of Us TV series at 9:30 p.m. But you can also find me on the B Network, soon to be known as the Imagination Connoisseurs channel, which is Robert Meyer Burnett's. And guys, I am officially part of Imagination Connoisseurs and the Burnett Work. So you can find me there on my shows on Monday nights, Ladies of the PGS at 6 p.m. Eastern. But also, and Retro Nerd Girl, you were on one of these shows, PGS
Mhm.
Moving Image.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, what a fun show.
it is a great show to do, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly a wonderful show as well, guys. And you can also find me streaming with Lorena Creole on her channel too. Please do like and subscribe to that channel. We have a show called Toxic Male Appreciation on Thursdays at Twitch. And on Fridays or Saturdays, I do my midnight music shows with Robert Meyer Burnett. But I also stream with the 1/6 Scale Man Network on Uncivilized Scoundrels, a Star Wars show on Thursday. So please do check it out. And thank you, Tom, Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited. Certainly the new channel that is just rebranding of the Burn Network, guys. So you are welcome by for the Hobbit. So good to see you here. Retro Nerd Girl, I can't thank you enough. I've had so
Oh,
much
thank
fun doing
you. Me
this
too.
show with you. And I
Yes,
look forward to next Sunday, guys. Retro
yes.
Nerd Girl is going to come right back and we are going to do another fantastic awards. So this is going to be the Screen Actors Guild Award or the SAG Awards. We will be here, cocktails in the ready, glitz and glamour, you name it. We are going to be dressed to the nines for this one.
Yes, we are. I'm gonna do it.
That's right. And this is going to be the last one before the Oscars, which will be in March 12th, guys. So I look forward to seeing all of you guys there in your formal wear. And once again, Retro Nerd Girl, this has been such a pleasure having you here.
I've had such a great time.
And for the rest of you out there, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind. Take care, everybody. Bye. Oops, I didn't press the right